Hey, what's going on, Leos? Butch here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. Stay tuned. Very shortly, in the next few days, I'm going to put up another giveaway. I like to do those once in a while, and just hitting 200,000, I just want to show some appreciation to a few lucky winners. I'd give you all a gift if I could, but financially, that seems like a big burden. And it's, like I said, it's, I appreciate every one of you sticking with me, growing our community, growing our tarot family. We're going to keep going, press on through. But with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what do we have for Leos? What is going on for the Leos? What message do we have for Leos? All right, Leos. So the first thing I see, Leos, is I feel like there is someone around you. Now, this could be someone you just met or someone you've known, it could be somebody just that you're about to meet. But either way, there's new energy here. Whether it changed, whether it altered, or whether it's just new altogether, there's definitely something new happening here. The first thing I see is I feel like with this person, I feel like there's, I feel like this person, we have the Knight of Wands. I feel like there's a very strong pull towards you. This person is drawn to you. And I feel like it does feel a bit spontaneous, like I said. So, that's what gives me the impression that it is new, or it's just a new dynamic to an old relationship. Either way, this person is very impulsively drawn to you. Like I said, we have the Three of Cups. I'm getting the feeling that you may already know this person, but I feel like it was more of a friendship before, but now it's something more. Or it starts off in a friendship with someone new, but that doesn't last long, because I do feel like there is something much more at play here. Because we have the Ace of Cups, which is new love. There's some really strong feelings here. And I feel like these feelings are real. There's no way around it. I feel like there's a lot of nurturing energy between the two of you, but there's also, I feel like this person is looking for their forever person, and they found that, and they're not willing to jeopardize that or let that go. But I feel like it is hard for them to accept it because of the fact that, I just feel like I said, with a King of Cups, it's emotionally mature. This person is looking for their forever person, not looking for a one-night stand. And I feel like there is a lot of physical energy between the two of you. But this isn't just a crush. This isn't somebody that's looking for a one-night stand with you. They're not looking to, hit it and quit it. They're not looking for something casual. And I feel like they're not really sure how to read you properly. And I feel like that's causing a lot of anxiety in this person, a lot of sleepless nights. And it is causing this person to hold back a little bit. Not really making their feelings known because their fear of that negative outcome. You know, when somebody wants something really bad, when they want somebody so bad that it hurts, and I feel like it does hurt them. You know, it hurts inside because they want something so bad, but they don't know how to deal with that. I don't feel like this person's ever truly felt about someone the way they feel about you. And it's causing them to feel that anxiety, that late night, that not being able to sleep. And they're kind of bottling up their feelings here with that Eight of Swords. I mean, you're everything they wanted. And like I said, these feelings are real. You know, the Three of Wands, I'm covering it with my finger. The Three of Wands, I mean, it's all about that ship finally coming in. But the ship can come in all at once, but unless we're willing to step up and board it, what's really the point at the end of the day? You know, if we're just going to have it, but we're not going to do anything about it, if it's right there in front of us and we're not going to do anything about it, you know, it's... I mean, we have the World card. You know, everything's come full circle. You know, they were meant to meet you and you were meant to meet them, and I feel like you were meant to be together. You know, this is someone that shows up. This is someone that puts in the work. And Leo, I feel like you're really going to enjoy this person to a very, you know, there's a very deep connection here, and I feel like you're really going to enjoy this person because I feel like this person knows how to appreciate a good thing. You know, this person knows how to, you know, really love you the way you need to be loved. You know, show up, put in the work. All those things that we want is right here. But again, I mean, this person's thinking about you and only you. But there's still that fear. Their fear of getting hurt. Their fear of putting themselves out there to get hurt. You know, they put you on this, almost like this pedestal. You know, you impress them. You know, they kind of, to a point, I mean, they really admire you. But it's not like, and what I mean by to a point is I feel like it's, I mean, they see you, they're in awe of you, but it's not like it's out of the, they're still wanting it because they still feel that connection. You're bringing something out of them that they never knew they had. Like I said, I feel like this is the first time they truly ever felt that deeply about anybody. And you're bringing out some feelings, and I feel like that's kind of holding them back as well. You know, they weren't expecting to feel this way. Somewhere along the line, it turned from this passionate connection, this, you know, this fiery connection, you know, the physical sense, it turned into something much deeper than they were expecting. You know, this person catches themselves fantasizing about you. You know, dreaming about a future with you. But we keep coming back to this internal struggle. You know, and that happens a lot to people, and it's one of the things that I actually see a lot is when you meet that perfect person for you. It's hard to sometimes believe that you're perfect for them. You know, because they just look so perfect to you, and just, you know, a lot of people, you know, second guess themselves. And I just put a quote up on my YouTube community page. It's about your own worst enemy being in between your ears. You know, it's the biggest killer to creativity is self-doubt. You know, whenever you start doubting yourself, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, that silent killer is in your head. You know, you want something, but sometimes it can tell you that you're not enough, and that's self-doubt. But what I see here is more than enough. You know, the connection that I see here is something that, you know, I feel like this connection is meant to be seen through. You know, I see a strong foundation here. Like I said, the feelings are absolutely real. It's never been so real. And the feelings they feel for you now and the feelings that you may feel for them, they only get deeper. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I haven't used this in a while, so I feel like I'm safe to use it. It's that iceberg love. We see it. You know, you're in your boat, you're cruising along, you see that tip of the iceberg sticking out, but you know it's there. You know there's something there. But until we get close, we don't realize how big this really is. Well, like I said, I feel like it's gonna get the best of them. You know, I feel like this person, everything's changing here. I feel like it's getting the best of them, and I feel like they're gonna get to the point where there's no return. There's a point in no return. You know, opening up communication, being completely honest with you, and just laying it out on the line. You know, fear is no friend to you. Risk can be your best friend. And I always say this too, as well, as sometimes our biggest regrets, they'll haunt us the rest of our lives. You know, sometimes we don't want to make a move, or we don't want to put ourselves out there because we're afraid of rejection. Rejection stings. It hurts like hell, to be honest with you. I've been rejected, and it hurts. It can hurt for a couple days. It can hurt for a couple months. You know, it can hurt for a couple years. But regret, that shit lasts forever. You know, don't think about the things that you should have done. And like I said, when this person opens up, and I feel like this person, like I said, they're gonna be bluntly honest with you. And I feel like that's the first step of moving this forward. You know, and I feel like, I mean, we have the Emperor and the Empress, so I feel like this connection is, like I said, with that Lovers card, is a deep connection. And we get the World card bringing you together. But then we have the Empress and Emperor. It doesn't get any better than that. You know, that nurturing and protective connection all in one. Being there for each other, protecting each other, you know, just having each other's back, taking care of each other. You know, with those two thrones side by side. You know, they say the Leo, the lion's the king of the jungle. But behind every good king is an even better queen. Behind every good queen is a strong king. You know, and it's that pair. It's that pair that builds the empires. If you look back in history, you'll never see, you know, you'll never see it. A lot of times you don't see it, but, you know, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day because I read this book, and it really enlightened a lot of things. You know, kings would be the one to tell everybody what their ruling was, you know, what the laws were. But don't underestimate the fact that the king does listen to the queen. The king never did it by himself. And every really good king in history had a great queen. Don't let anybody tell you different. But like I said, I do see us moving forward. I mean, I do see an unbreakable bond between the two of you, but we have to step up. The feelings are real. We gotta acknowledge it. Because if we don't acknowledge it and we let it fester, that shit is gonna haunt you forever. You know, don't let second guessing, don't let overthinking, don't let all that shit pull you back. You want something bad enough, you go for it. Period. There's no other way to look at that. You want it, go after it. If it wasn't for you, you'll find out. If it was, you'll find out. But you'll never find out if you don't try. Holding back is never going to get anybody where they want to go. You know, and I know a lot of people think, I'll just sit around and wait till shit comes to me. You know, let me know how that works out for you. Like I said, I'm no stranger to regret. I have regrets. You know, I have one of the, you know, I feel like in my past, you know, in a past relationship, which I'm still not talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. You know, I feel like shit went off the wall, you know, and a lot of that was my own insecurities. You know, the reason why it didn't work is because I was insecure with the connection. You know, I doubted myself. So I would half-ass it. And no real person, no real king or queen is going to accept your half-ass offer. You know, you can't just be half in and half out. It doesn't work that way. You know, and you certainly can't be half in and half out and expect that person to be all in. But if you want something, go after it with everything you have. Because then if it doesn't work, you can say, I gave it everything. You know, you don't want to be sitting on a porch someday being 90 years old and alone and say, well, I had it right in front of me. And all I had to do was take the first step. But I didn't. You know, it's like this quote I read before, you know, you can't move backwards and forwards at the same time, so pick a direction. You know, you want something, don't back off it. And sometimes things that you want may not be ready for you at that time. It doesn't mean it won't be. You know, when you feel a draw to someone, a connection that's so much more than any, you know, so much more than words can pale to describe. When you feel something real like that, you got to go after it. You know, don't be second guessing it. Don't be holding back. Because you got to look at it from, you know, look at it from the alternate perspective. You know, if you were in love with someone, wouldn't you want them to be in love with you? You know, wouldn't you want them to open up to you and tell you how they feel about you all the time? You know, and like the Leos, I'm a Leo rising. I want my main pet. I want somebody to pet me once in a while. You know, and lions can be intimidating. It's a perfect name for a Leo. Sometimes you can be intimidating. But someone that truly wants to be next to you will find out who you really are when they're next to you. You're not intimidating. You're protective. You're not intimidating. You're loving. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. Almost everybody in the world that I've ever met thinks the person they're with is too good for them. That's all part of love. You know, and it's not that I'm saying they're way too good for you. I'm just saying, if you're with someone and you haven't looked at them at least once and said, what the hell did you see in me? Like, in your head, obviously. Well, some people say it out loud, but, you know, how the hell did I get so lucky? If you're not saying that to the person that's next to you, maybe I'm wrong. But holding back gets you nowhere. I know this from experience. You know, I was in a very long relationship. My last relationship, it was 14 years, and it was self-sabotaging. It was, you know, there's so many things I can call it. But none of those things takes me back to the place where it was epic. You know, there was a time and place where everything was everything. You know, and I was in a moment where I could have had it all. And I don't know what would have happened if I gave it all. It's certainly not what happened. But when you burn bridges, you either build a new one or you take a different route. But, I mean, one thing that I want you to learn is from my mistakes, so you don't have to make them yourself. You know, you have something worth protecting. If you're not protecting it, someone else will. You know, if there's something that you want and you keep overthinking it, if you keep holding back, I mean, like I said, who wants to be with someone that isn't going to give it to them all? If they're not, if your person isn't showing up 100% for you, how can they expect you to show up 100%? You know, and I feel like at the end of the day, that's all a true connection is. It's 200%. You know, people say 50-50. There's no 50-50. You know, there is not when it comes to loving someone. You're either 100 or nothing. But that's what I have for you. Be good. Take care. Stay safe. Risk it for the biscuit.